So today I want to talk to you about spiritual laziness. And as you can see, I'm still in Vancouver. I had some time today, so I'm doing a series of videos as I usually do. And you can see Vancouver, I left Montreal and we're still in the winter. We're probably gonna get some snow tomorrow in Montreal. And when I got to Vancouver, people were in t-shirt, in shorts. I mean, it seems like summer here already. So I'm at a hotel, that's why I'm not at my usual location at home. But I want to talk to you about spiritual laziness and the reason why you should vaccinate yourself. Spiritual laziness to me is like an infectious disease. It means if you see people who are spiritually lazy, who just like to repeat things they've heard, who don't practice it, what they do is they may have read something somewhere, don't even remember it clearly, don't even go back to check what they actually read, but whatever they remember is what they're gonna start mouthing around and spreading around. And you may become victim of that. You may get infected because you too took what they said and you never went back to the source. You never attempted to clarify what they said, to clarify what is being said, whether it was even correct or not. And then it gets into this big snowball that creates a mess. We end up having things being so distorted that we don't even understand how we even got started to begin with. Even if the person that even said it before at the beginning will say that what it has become has nothing to do with what the person said. So it gets completely transformed. So spiritual laziness is really bad. It's just mouthing your mouth, taking on whatever you heard and not being willing to do your own research, not being willing to experiment it for yourself, see if it works for yourself. It may not work for you. It doesn't mean it doesn't work for anybody. It just means it doesn't work for you. That's how you're supposed to be taking things. Because it's too easy to just say, oh, I tried it, it didn't work, the whole thing doesn't work. No, it doesn't work for you because this is not like using tubes in a laboratory or a lab rat experiment where everyone's gonna do it's not like making a recipe. You take the eggs, you take the chocolate, you do that, and boom, you have brownies, and everybody who does that will have brownies. That's not how spirituality works. We are not all the same. We are not gonna have all of us the same result doing the same thing. And I know it's hard to understand and it's hard to grasp, but I think, to me, if you really think about the fact that you are unique, how do you expect then everyone else to be exactly like you if you are unique? To me, it just makes sense. It just makes sense that your deepest desires may not be the same as someone else. So you may not be able to use the exact same thing that they've done. And that's why you have to put in work. You have to put in work. I think a lot of people talk about energy, and energy is an exchange. Energy is never destroyed. It keeps moving around. It is transformed. But it gets transformed. You have to transform it. You have to canalize it. You have to direct it. It's not just going to flow. If you think about what do you call it? Lightning. When you think about lightning strikes you and you're dead. Okay? If you want to use lightning or any form of electricity or energy around, you're going to have to put in some work. If you want to do healing work on your body or other people, you're going to have to learn how to do it. You're going to have to learn how to even feel it within your own body before you even do it to someone else. Okay, that will take time from you. That will take some energy from you. It's an investment. You're sending that out so you can get it back, and you can get more back from that, from what you invested. So I don't understand how you think you're just going to be sitting at home and everything's going to all fall in together. It doesn't. I have never met someone that had that type of experience. Even when you have gifts, when you are born, and you have visions, you have premonitions, you can have all kind of different gifts, okay? You still have to learn how to use them. You're still gonna have to learn how not to run your mouth and tell everybody everything you're seeing, everything that's going to happen. And I know that because I've been there. I've been there when you learn the hard way, you know, whether it is information through your dreams about other people, things you've seen, places you've been, whatever, or it's visions that you get, you know, it's like thoughts from other people that you get, that you know exactly what they're thinking, whether they're lying or not. It's not for you. You have to learn how to use all of that and what to do with it. The gift is not sufficient. And this is why a lot of you have pain. This is why a lot of you don't know what to do, because you have the gift but you don't know how to use it. You have the gift or you don't know how to catalyze it. You have the gift but you don't know what's the protocol. You don't know why the information came to you. How can you don't want to put in the time to learn, you know, what you should do in specific situation, to look at different patterns, to look at, you know, every single time there's this type of vision that I get and I do this happened. And that takes time. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Ask any medium, anybody who's not a channeler, people who just had that coming them to you, because I put channeling in different category. When you're born with gifts, time, unless you have a mother that was like that, or auntie or somebody around you that was guiding you, that was basically sharing their own experience, so that as you leave certain things, you are more prepared, because you kind of know what to expect. And even if it's not exactly the same thing, you can kind of use what they gave you and try to develop tools on your own that will work for you. And it gives you a benchmark. It gives you something where you can say, okay, I can expect that coming because I've heard this before from someone else, lived this before, and I can kind of see how I can deal with that. Unless you had someone there with you doing that, it's gonna be you putting in that work and having experiment after experiment after experiment, some good, some bad, some all over the place, some peaceful, some neutral, but there's gonna be a variety of things. So your own personal development is gonna come from your growth, okay? That's why a lot of time they say that stagnation only breeds more problems. When you're supposed to move up and take on greater things, you can't just be stuck back where you are or where you were just because you're comfortable, just because you feel like you don't want to do it, you know. And sometimes those visions and those things come to you to get you out of that stagnation, get you out of that gutter, so you can move up or move out. So to me, it's not even a matter of work or not work. It's just a matter of just having that childlike quality where you're curious. You're curious about how things function. You're curious about what you're supposed to be doing with this information and how you're supposed to deal with it. How yourself are receiving that information. I think those are questions that we all ask ourselves at some point. Why am I receiving this information? Why am I different from other people? Or when you ask yourself, what can I do with this information? How can I help this person? Am I supposed to be helping this person? What can I do to contribute to bettering things around me? Those are, like, I think, basic questions that you need to go through and you need to think about, and be open to be of service. Because as you realize that those gifts are not meant for your own dilection. And I think we all at the beginning at some point saw that, oh, there's something here that I can do to help myself. And sure, you can have that phase where you explore things and use that to help yourself and to, you know, kind of also know where the limit is. Because sometimes until you get close to that limit, you basically don't have much of an idea of what it is and what it means. So getting close to that limit will give you some pointers in terms of, like, what you shouldn't be doing. And then see how you can use that to serve other people. How you can use that to ease, to heal, to nurture, to comfort the people around you. And we need that right now. And I think that's why there's more and more people who have gifts, because it is so needed. And I think it's important that you take that chance, that you take that moment within yourself. And if you are somebody who doesn't have gifts or whatever, but you know somebody who does, your part may be to encourage them, to support them, instead of trying to bring them down or to make them feel awkward. or to blame them for being different and whatever. Be part of the solution, be part of something that's going to better everyone. Okay? But that was just my talk on spiritual laziness. I just sometimes see how people don't want to make the effort, don't want to take the time to research things for themselves, or to experiment things for themselves in terms of seeking the answers that you want within your own self. And of course, if you do that process and you kind of wondering, you're on the fence, you're not quite sure what it means, and you want some additional assistance or someone to coach you, that's fine. But I want to encourage you to take that step, and first and foremost, ask yourself, take that trip within yourself first. And if you need assistance, then ask and seek assistance. But if you do not need it, just go through it. And that's the thing that I think that's what you're going to find. You'll find that for a lot of the questions that you have, by taking the time of seeking the answer within your own self, you will find that answer. And then for other things, you may need assistance, and that's fine. But I encourage you, I truly encourage you to take that time to go within. Ask yourself all of these honest questions, however painful they are. Be ready to scream, be ready to shout, be ready to cry about the things that you've repressed about yourself, about the things that you don't want to look at, about the things that you want to ignore, or the things that make you feel uncomfortable about yourself. And we're going to get into this zone of discomfort and all of that, because I see that this is really needed at this time, to talk about the things that make you uncomfortable. We're going to get into sessions and probably I'll see if I also put that in videos, where we'll talk about sex, where we'll talk about trauma, where we'll talk about insecurities, where we'll talk about all those different things that we try to want to glance over, that we don't want to talk about as an individual, with our friends, with our couple, with our families, or with the community. And I'm going to be talking about it, giving you specific things that you can do on your own to get started on that path, on that healing path, and also to get started on transforming that side of you, integrating that side of you, so that you can start to feel whole, so that you can have that vision of you being whole, and no longer carry that weight. If you are willing, it is time to put down that weight that you don't have to carry around, that weight that is not yours, that was placed on you but that is not yours to carry. So spiritual laziness, just say no, just like any type of laziness. It's time to get vaccinated. It's time to get blanked about that. It's time to pull up our sleeves and really be the person we want to be. Really be the person we know we are deep inside. Really be the person we strive to be every single day. No matter how many times we fall, because we're gonna fall, okay? But with that perseverance in knowing that you will get up and you will keep going. And I will be there all step along the way to push you and to push you to keep going, because I keep always going, no matter how low I can fall, or no matter how challenging the stuff I'm meeting is. I know I'm going to get through, because I'm going to keep pushing and I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to give up. And I will talk to you about specific things where you can be distracted, you can be called to give up because other individuals come in or other situations come in to distract you. So stay focused, love yourself, learn to love yourself, and release everything that you no longer need. Release what was never meant to be yours to carry. Think about that. How many things are you carrying around that are not yours? Whose luggage are you carrying? Whose weight are you carrying? Whose remorse and regret and remorse, regret, and deception are you carrying? It's time to let go. It's time to drop that bag lady. It's time to put it down, and it's time to start living and start doing and doing it with the passion, the dedication that it deserves for you to fulfill your purpose, for you to find and fulfill your purpose, and to just have a more fulfilling life overall, and to truly, fully feel complete, feel you, not feel like someone else, not feel like someone you have to be, but feel you. Bye.